In this video, we are basically going to run through some comparisons I've done between ChatGPT Images 2.0 and Google Gemini. You already probably know that my mom has a YouTube channel, and sometimes I design some of the thumbnails that go on top of the videos that she does. And most of the designs I use like AI to do those designs, because sometimes we don't get pictures or proper pictures for like some of the things that they are talking about or some of the things that they are being interviewed about. So the typical workflow is I'll take the image, bring it into Weavy or wherever, and sometimes Higgsfield, and then work around the image to get like a photograph that I think works best as a thumbnail. Take it into Photoshop, do typography and all those things, add effects and all those things if necessary, basically image manipulation and stuff like that. And then exports, go and upload on the YouTube banner, which typically takes a long time sometimes. I tried this ChatGPT Images 2.0 on a project, and the results were phenomenal, right? In comparison to what I was getting with Gemini with the same prompts. So I was like, let me just try ChatGPT with like some design work and see how good it holds up, right, with like the design work. And to my surprise, I got really good designs, literally one-shotted, kind of close to what I was imagining, and one of the highest views she has gotten in a long time. In my opinion, I think ChatGPT Images 2.0 is the reigning champion for image generation as at now, as compared to Google Gemini. But before we dive right in, let me not forget the intro. Yeah, cool. So this is a screenshot. So this is typically how I would do it, right? I'll take a screenshot from the YouTube video. This was an interview with a chief somewhere in some town, and they were discussing things about history and all those things. And the idea I had for the thumbnail was to have an image of them having the conversation with the man giving like gestures and stuff like that. And then the subject matter they were talking about, it was Osei Tutu, the first Ashanti king, right? So basically have that written in like a movie style coding text, which would have taken me a long time to do in Photoshop. Condensed fonts behind the characters and, you know, color graded to match everything like that. And so what I did first was to like just try to create a cinematic render or a cinematic version of the image. So that was a test. Let me try that and see what I'll typically go to what's it called, Photoshop, to go and do the tweaks, color correction and all those things to do. Let me just try it with ChatGPT and see what I'll get with it. And this is what I got, which is the image is a bit too dark for my liking, but I think it serves the purposes for which I wanted it to. And this is what Gemini Nano Banana Pro gave me, which is not bad. I like the lens flares and stuff it's added, but it's still like quite close to flat, right? And then from there, we'll come back to this image. From there, I asked it to, I will share this file below so you can also open it and then check out the prompts, check out the images and all those things, right? So basically I was like, okay, I have a cool image now. Let me see if I can add the text here. So basically the prompt I wrote, where is it? If I can find, yeah, this is it. So basically, why do I keep saying basically? But yeah, basically, create an image of the woman in the reference image as a high quality cinematic image captured with higher quality camera and anamorphic lens. Oh, okay. So what's happening is I rewrote the prompts for a different image. I don't think I have the prompts I used to create this over here. Apologies for that. But basically what's happened was after I had the image, I was like, give me an image of these two guys and put some dramatic text behind them. The text should be a condensed bold font with golden effects and texture on top of it that looks like a movie poster. That was the simple prompts I wrote, and I got some samples back. I think this was the first one, which was shocking to get in one shot. Sorry, but I felt it was a bit too dark, even though the story was dark and everything. I felt it was too dark for like the YouTube algorithm. So I tried again and I told it to add some texts to it. So like the backstory of Osei Tutu and a free TT oral interview. But then it added a text, cool, but then it went and messed up the man's face over here, which wasn't quite great. So I decided to do it a third time, remove the extra text, and voila, I got this back. And I was like, yes, this is perfect. And I just lifted it and then went to use it as the YouTube thumbnail. But then after this, I was like, even though I was very tired at the end of the day and I had to go and sleep, I decided to be stubborn and the child in me wanted to try a few more things to see if this was a one-off thing or a hallucination, or if this was actually doing what I thought it was doing, which was it was designing for me by taking my words and giving me back a finished design that I didn't need to tweak, right? So I went ahead and generated another image of my mom in this nice, beautiful Bridgerton style setting, right? Nice image. And I was like, okay, no. Before then, let's come back to this node. After this, okay, before I made these ones, the next thing I did was, now let's take a picture of the image of the woman, which is my mom, and create a magazine cover for Queen Mothers. I didn't give it any copy. I just gave it the title and the name of my mom. And this is what it's brought back, which I thought which was mind blowing for me, because this is the first time I have tried randomly to create something like a design, like a finished design. Typically, I'll create the image first and then go and do the design myself. But this time, I'm like, let me try to do design in one shot using only my words and description. And this is what I got back with like details in text and copy that was or is relevant sort of to what my mom does, right? And then it gives you dates, issue number, subtitles and all those things. And so I decided to, let's push it a bit more, right? Let's see what else I can get. So run the prompt again. It gave me this one. At this point, resemblance was starting to break. Then I had to change the prompt to tell it, you know what? Make sure resemblance of the woman is 1-for-1 and don't mess it up. I had to type it like 3 different times in one prompt. And it brought back this, right? And then I started adding some changes to like the design, things that she's wearing, the things that she's sitting on, the background, the details in the text, right? So I just decided to like try again, right? And then I kept getting much better results. And mind you, all this is without image references. Everything is taken purely from the prompt and the reference images that I've inputted in here, right? And then this is the last one, which at this point I was like, okay, I'm sold. Like this is, and it even added the price in the corner for like the dollar rate and the arbitrary rates, which is the US dollars. I don't think it's a one-to-one conversion because this is wrong. But like, this is incredible, right? Giving me the details, the small text details. I mean, I think I would. No, I know that I would do a much better magazine design than this. But this looks like a standard magazine design. Even like, I think it looks much better than some magazine designs I've seen around. It looks like, yeah, way better. Maybe because I had good prompts or something like that. But then I think the image model is also really good. And this is what we got from that. So from here, I was like, okay, let me try a few other simple things. So I did this Bridgerton version of my mom with Kente in like a UK palace setting type thing. And then added some typography to the text. So that's her name. Just try to write it in like some stylish fonts. So all I did was just give it descriptions of like the type of font I'm looking for, the type of decoration I want around the font. And then I decided to try all this with Gemini to see how it holds up, because I was curious to see how it would handle the prompts. Now, for the magazine test, I didn't try it for the, what's it called? The YouTube thumbnail. Maybe I should try that later. I didn't try it for that, but I tried it for the magazine once because I thought like that would be the most complex one. And this is, hold on, this is the first image. Why is the other image not? This is the first image I got back from Gemini running the same prompt that gave me these guys. And then at this point, I'm like, maybe this was a mistake, or maybe this was, a glitch in the system. Let me run it again and see what happens. And then it brought back this. Now, granted, I think the image itself looks good, but it's getting resemblance wrong. It's changing the pose, and the typography is just not something that looks like I would want to reach this magazine. Typography layout is off. It doesn't have as much detail as I prompted in there. The only good thing about this is like the image looks nice enough, but then again, even that one, it gets the resemblance wrong. And then I was like, okay, let me run the simple one with this, and this is the two of them side by side, which I think is okay. It's okay. I showed it to a friend of mine who was like, yeah, the Nano Banana one looks a bit like a generic design. It doesn't look like there was any attention paid to like the typography and all those things. But this one feels like it's a part of the image, and yeah, it looks like it was much more intentional, and I do agree with them. And then, we're still curious, right? How will it hold up in multiple scenarios, right? ChatGPT versus Google Gemini. And I mean, I'll let you guys decide for yourself in the comments. But so we started with, what if I want to design a poster, right? I want to design a poster for my birthday party that is coming up. I only have a nicely taken image of myself. So this is an image that I generated in Magnific. Magnific, when it used to actually be Magnific a few years ago. Not FreePic, Magnific now. They weren't acquired yet. So this is an image I generated using Magnific with inspiration from another image I generated in Midjourney. Long story. But then here's my prompt. Simple birthday invitation card for the rich woman in the image reference attached. She is, and mind you, all these prompts are a little bit abstract just to allow the models to hallucinate a bit and come up with their own ideas. So simple birthday invitation card for the rich woman in the image reference attached. She's inviting other rich people, so the design has to be classy, modern, and simple. Her name is Lady Nkutu, and the date is 16th July, blah, 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 blah. And this is what Gemini did, which is not bad, but I feel like it looks like a and just a very modern, classy funeral poster, right? And then we look at ChatGPT's results, which is like it even designed the Leading Kuto logo with the crown and everything. And I think like this design, this is something that I would design, right? Like it's simple, it's clean, it's classy, and it looks like an invitation to a rich people's party, right? So Gemini, ChatGPT, decide for yourself. And then I was like, how would it hold up in a UI design context? So this is again another image I generated in Magnific when it used to actually be Magnific, not free pick. Using the reference image, design a premium landing page with bold condensed fonts behind the car with the words "the best." Add micrographics and a menu bar that makes it look like a premium landing page selling the beauty of the car. Minimal text, breathable layout. And you can see from afar the results for yourself. This is Nano Banana Pro. This is ChatGPT Images 2.0. And you can see the results. This design is okay, it's not bad. But then this one looks like something that was actually thought to and designed. It gave you the specs of the car down here, some descriptions, micrographics on the left and right. A logo is not the right logo, but hey, who's complaining? Home, model, blah, 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 menu. And this is like stupidly good design, good looking piece of work, right? And then now we go to test number 3. I wanted to see how it holds up in a poster design contest, another poster design contest, selling a product. So design a poster so I'm trying to lock in an art style at this point. Using architectural design principles. The poster has a geometric serif font on a clean background with minimal vibe, advertising premium jewelry. And this is what Gemini did. Premium pre-doom, I don't even know what this is. Premium pre-doom jewelry, modernist forms, timeless, blah, 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 blah. And this design is actually quite bad. I know for the rest I said it's not that bad, but this is bad. Yeah, I think like this, the ChatGPT one looks very clean. I think it listened more to my prompt. But yeah, like this is awesome. This is awesome. And then I tried to do a logo, right? So design a logo for a basketball team called Panther Phoenix. Even though I think I kind of like some parts of the Gemini's outputs, but I think ChatGPT listened much more to the prompts, right? It was much more adherent to the prompts than this one, because one of the things I said was like no curved edges, and I wanted the head of the phoenix to be above the shield, right? Which this guy got clearly, but this guy didn't. But I quite like some features. So if I was to do this as an actual project, I'll probably do a few things to make it better. But I think, okay, I'm going to try something while we are here. Before I move on to the rest, I'm gonna try ChatGPT Images. Give me a full brand kit sheet outlining the currents, the color codes, typography, and add some Jersey mockups as well in a nicely designed bento. Great. Let's see how it does with that prompt. So I'll go with let's go with this, and then we'll do the same with Nano Banana Pro and see how that would hold up against the competition. 16:9 run model, right? So the next thing we did was let's see how it will hold up. UI food app, nothing crazy, make it very useful in the UX. I didn't want to add a lot of details. This Gemini's outputs, food images, I think look good. I don't know if this is an actual food someone would make. But yeah, the images look good. And then it has the same image repeated across because it thinks, okay, yeah, this is a prototype. It can use the same thing to do it very quickly. This is something a lazy designer would do, right? But then ChatGPT took it a step further, delivered to location 940. I don't know why they're all using avocados and chicken for some reason. But yeah, like deliver to here, like shop, search. We have the phone UI elements, so I can easily mock this up in like a phone mockup. And then we have some icons here. These icons look like straight out of boat food. And then you have like different foods, cheesy pizza, Spice House, the Bowl Company, whatever. And like, yeah, I don't think either of the UIs look great, but if I were to pick one, I think like ChatGPT's UI design was much better skills than Gemini. So, I mean, in this head-to-head battle, who do you think won? Right? Let me know down in the comment section. I know who my pick is. So let me know which one you think is the best. Now let's go back to the brand kit design that we did. I would have to confirm whether the image codes and stuff are good, but from a single prompt we now have something that kind of looks like a brand kit, where it's like we have the Phoenix Panther brand kits, the logo. It has a logo explanation which I didn't give it. It's totally made up. A mock-up of the thing on the jersey, which I think like looks quite good. And then we have the logo, clear space, color palettes with name the colors and all those things, typography, patterns and textures, which looks quite good. Now it's doing something I don't like, which is meant to know that this is a basketball team, I think. But maybe I think because I didn't specify it in here, so I mean that's my bad. And then it added iconography, some do's and don'ts, social media icons, and all of that, which I think is quite great. So if you know exactly what you're doing, you could push this further. And then Gemini thought this Phoenix team was a football team, so it did football. And I think these jerseys are actually quite nice. Secondary fonts, light sans serif, primary fonts. So in theory, you could technically use this to develop quick brand assets for something like low budget projects where you don't want to think too much, you don't want to do a lot of work. You could use this method to develop quick brand identity stuff. Right now, let me see if it will give me basketball specific stuff. If I specify the team is a basketball team. Okay, so while that is running, I've heard that there's a new Canva update that allows you to go from image straight to separated layers in design that you can actually edit. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take some of the images that we have from the design, bring them into Canva, separate the layers to see if it works actually like advertised. So we go to Magic Layers, select media. I already tried one with this design over here, so we'll do that, and then it loads up and then it starts running, right? And then let's try another design. Let's take the logo design, for example, and then run that as well and see the results that we get while this is running. Yeah. Your design is ready to edit. Which one is it? Yes, and I think it works as advertised. So now I have my button here. I can change this text. I can change engineered to eat beans. Yeah, really good. Micrographics are editable. All the text is editable. Cars, Lewis, Hamilton. Yeah. DWP. Yeah, it works as advertised. I can move the car around. I don't know why it reduced the size of this text though. How do I increase size of text in Canva? Okay. This is slow. So let me go 600. Let's see. No, 600 is too big. 300. Yeah. So in theory, it works. It works. It works. It works. Let me see how the logo is doing. So now I have an editable logo file with different separated parts and layers, and I can actually change the text. I think Pantai Beans Eaters. This is stuff of magic. Like, I don't know how they are doing this, but this is really great. So fully editable layers in Canva. Now let's go back to the brand kit. So now I added basketball context. This is what ChatGPT made with the basketball context, and this is what we have from Google Gemini. So I'll allow you to make your own judgments and draw your own conclusions, but I think there's a clear winner here. Let me know what you think. Let me know what models you want us to pit against each other. This is not a fight. We are just testing to see which one is best and which one is, yeah, I'm sure Google is working or cooking in the kitchen to come up with a new update with Nano Banana 3.0 or something like that. But until then, I think ChatGPT Images 2.0 is really awesome. And yeah, it can one-shot designs now, right? So all this is getting really interesting really fast. I don't know what the creative industry will look like in the next 5 to 10 years, but hopefully it's good for all of us. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like it if you found some value in there, subscribe if you are already not subscribed, and share it with your friends who want to learn a lot more about AI and how to use AI. I'll catch you guys in the next one.